need to be driven, and you need to accept that you won't give up no matter how many challenges are thrown at you. And I believe automatically that makes you a lion. Welcome to Livestream. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Plains, with my co-host, Jeremy Applegate. How you doing today?
It's a great day. It's a great day. You want to know why?
Why is that? You woke up at 5 in the morning and took a cold shower?
That's right. The lion came out in me.
What did your wife say when you took that cold shower and you did your first scream?
She said, "Oh my, the lion's out."
So,
and I said, "Yes, it is. Let's go."
So when you say lion, what does that mean to you?
I think it means domination. I think it means waking up with this idea of, I'm going to accomplish everything that I want to get done today. I'm going to do it. There's just no other explanation other than that. What do you think? What is lion mentality for you?
I think that's a great point. Like, you got to pre-plan your day.
Yeah.
Like, even before I go to bed, like, I spend like 20 to 30 minutes, like, planning my next day and what my goals and objectives are. And till I don't accomplish those goals, I don't go to bed, basically.
Hey, that's what you got to do. My question to you also is this. Does everyone have lion inside them?
That's a great question. I really don't think everyone does. I think there's people that are driven more, and there's people that have those personality traits to attack and conquer. That's why most people don't get to reach that level of, a financial wealth or success.
What if it's dormant? Like, what if everybody has lion inside them, but it's just setting down deep? How do they get it out?
I don't know if you remember my last podcast, but I said that mind's getting triggered till I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
I was tame. I was a little tame lion. And then at 20,
you're a cub.
And then at that point, I got that, that vision or that mindset that I couldn't stop till I didn't start accomplishing my goals.
So you really believe that, like, maybe I don't want to say number one, but number one on the list is you have to have goals.
Correct.
Right? To launch this lion idea.
You got to have goals and objectives. And I think the hardest point or the hardest part of it for me is basically being able to, even when you get curveballs thrown at you, is to recover and get back at it. Because you can have a lion mentality one day, but does that guarantee you're going to have it ultimately every single day? And that's probably the hardest part of it.
I love that you just said that, because that is the biggest challenge. And you got to bring your game every single day.
Which it goes back to, remember what I said last time, the cooler, the closer, and the cleaner. Right? You got people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They were lions all the time.
They're lions 24/7. Even when they're sleeping, they're lions.
Yeah, they just don't stop till they conquer. They can get 1 championship, 2 championships, 3 championships, but they just don't stop till they get to that excellence level.
So how do you create a lion? Like, how would we're lions, right? We wake up, we want to conquer the world, we want to do all this great stuff, we have all these plans, we have all these goals every single day. How do you can you develop a lion? Like, can you get the lion out of somebody?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah. I mean, but again, it's all in you. We can push everyone to do certain things, but if they don't do it, they're just not going to have it. We can hold them accountable, but if they're not doing it, your main objective needs to be winning. And if you're not winning, you're not accomplishing what you need to accomplish.
So how does the entrepreneur build this inner idea, and get that lion out of there? What if they don't have the support of somebody else? Like, we support each other, right? How does an individual entrepreneur, launch this lion? What do you think?
I don't think everyone has it, Jeremy.
I know.
I think the problem is that if you don't have that mindset of never giving up, and even when you get attacked by, hyenas and other avenues, and if you can't recover from that, you're not going to survive. That's why 3 out of 5 businesses over 50 employees fail.
Yeah, that's an astounding number there.
Within 1 to 3 years.
And I think that, having that lion mentality and having that creates a situation where, leadership comes out, right? And, I mean, a lion a male lion, yes, for most part is a solitary individual, right? But they have a pride,
They do have a lot of pride.
and they also have they run an entire pride of lions. Like a male lion is in charge of multiple people, and it's a situation where you have to have that lion in order to create a successful business and a successful situation for you and your team.
Exactly. And if you want to simplify it,
Yeah.
you can look at sports, right? You were just talking to me earlier about Ray Lewis.
Yep.
Why did Ray Lewis accomplish so much success in the NFL?
Because of the lion mindset. Because of he was not going to. He had goals, and he was not going to quit. And you've said this already. He's not going to quit until those goals are accomplished.
Exactly.
That's just it. That's just it. And I love Ray Lewis.
Yeah, no, you got Ray Lewis, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Those guys are winners.
Yeah.
And they don't give up till they don't win.
Correct.
And I think that's what you need to do, right? You need to be driven, and you need to accept that you won't give up no matter how many challenges are thrown at you. And I believe automatically that makes you a lion.
And I believe that separates the successful entrepreneurs versus the individuals who are not successful. I guess I'll just say it like that, because like you said, it's an idea, it's a mindset, it's an idea, it's a situation where you're not going to take no for an answer, and you're just going to keep fighting.
That's right. I think you can have all these ideas, right? Because we have a lot of people around us that have all these ideas and all these goals, but they never initiate them, or they
Correct.
never complete them, or they say they're going to do them, but they never complete them. Personally, if I start something, that very well. I don't stop till it's not finished.
Yeah.
Till we're signing in that dotted line.
Yeah.
And that comes with monthly goals, daily goals, yearly goals. And I hold myself extremely accountable for those goals that I set in my mind.
And I think that we're talking a lot about lion mentality, but I also think that that's part of failure is incorporated in there. And a lion is going to get themselves off of the ground, brush themselves off, lick their paws, and get ready for the next fight.
That's right.
So it's a situation where I think it's important that people understand, like. We talk about winning, and we talk about lion, and we talk about fighting and all this other stuff. What do you think triggers a lion mentality?
I can personally tell you,
personally tell us.
I can personally tell you, it didn't strike me till I was 21 years old, and I realized, it was this or nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's either I become a dentist or I stay doing what I was doing. Not that it was bad. I was doing very well at a young age. I was very successful in the sales department, but I realized, do I do it this way? And I probably have to work till I'm 70 years old, and live pretty much paycheck to paycheck, or do I pay the price now and attack those goals that I want to attack and have been my dream?
I like that, pay the price, because you do, right? And again, we go back to failure, we go back to lion mentality. It all is associated. All the successful people in the world, they don't do it half-assed. You know what I mean? It's all go, no quit, fight, kill, destroy. Fill in the blank kind of a deal, right?
Yep. And there's going to be a lot of other lions that are going to. What do you do when another lion wants to conquer your territory?
Yeah. What do?
You attack.
Yeah, you get them. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
We're in a very competitive space right now,
Yeah,
which is the dental space, and now you have all these private equity funds, and a lot of people are leaving the retail market and getting into healthcare.
Yep.
As you notice, the multiples in healthcare have increased by 20 to 30% in the last couple of years.
You have all these healthcare people putting locations inside Walmart and inside CVS and inside Walgreens and inside. What the heck is going on here?
What were we talking about? Was it? Amazon actually bought a company that is related with health now.
Yep. Yes.
So what do you do when 20 lions attack you?
You ain't going to be able to fight them individually. They're all coming at you at once.
Right. Do you unite them, or do you continue to battle?
I think that's a great point, and I think that it's a situation where you can't fight them all, right?
You can't,
because they will kill you. 20 against 1 or not, it's not good odds.
You can be a big lion, but if you got to be, basically you got to find other lions that are in the same mindset as you,
Yep.
and you could work together.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. So then it turns into maybe you with your leadership skills you convinced 9 of those lions to come over on your side, and then it's 10 and 10, and it's an easy fight, or it's an equal fight.
It's an equal fight. That's right.
Shouldn't say easy fight.
So yeah, back to the private equities. Like years ago, private equity was not interested in healthcare.
Yep.
As you know that you've been around the space for a while.
Yep.
They were just not interested in dental or in medical, and you can see that it's probably their prime target right now.
Yeah, it was interesting that that, and it was just recent, right? Probably, and I say recent within the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 years. Wouldn't you say 8 to 10 years? Maybe they really started getting involved in healthcare and specifically in the dental industry. And I would, private equity is a lion, right? Because they'll come in and they will, puff their chest and show you, how strong and dominant they are, and
they got the financial backing.
And then they'll run your ass right out of there.
Which we deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
We're competing against Heartlands and Aspens and North American Dental Group and other big DSOs, and it's a challenge.
It is a challenge,
especially if you own a small business, and if you want to continue to conquer your goals. I mean, I can tell you it's a lot harder to open up a dental practice now than it was 5 years ago.
I agree.
Not only do you have rising construction costs, you got to market double. You got to invest a lot of money in marketing. I average 8 to 10% in marketing a month.
What do you believe, like for the entrepreneur, specifically in the dental realm? I mean, what are the most important factors you think these guys should be looking at before they open up their first practice? What do you think?
Location. And you also got to have a good amount of cash flow available to be able to, market yourself.
Yeah, I don't think people really understand, and I love that you said market, because that's what gets missed. Don't you believe that's what gets missed with when they open up these new offices? They're so focused on getting the best equipment and getting the state-of-the-art x-ray machine and getting this fancy smancy software and doing all this other crazy stuff.
The TVs.
Market your location. Your location.
Exactly. That's a great point. And you got to understand that it's okay not to make money for the first year.
Yes.
You got to take a pay cut. And you got to reinvest yourself. I mean, I was honestly not making really good cash flow till like 3 years in after owning. Yeah. There's months that we lost money and then we recovered, but guess what? Over time, you build that revenue stream.
And it goes back to the lion. Think about this in the jungle and the safari. Like, you started with a territory like this big, right? Your territory is growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's all because of that lion mind, that lion mentality that you have inside you. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, you got to be tactical.
Yeah, you have to attack at the right time. You hope it's the right time, but again, you use information to your advantage, right? Use the terrain to your advantage. You hide yourself in the safari.
I just saw there's an office, a local DSO around here, a dental service organization that literally has one office. There's a space, and then they just opened up another office under a different name.
Right next to it?
Yeah. That is very, very common because you got to do the demographic analysis. Yeah. You got to evaluate median income, and you also got to evaluate the population, the density of the population.
I guess it might be, important for somebody like that to, instead of trying to add operatories to one location, just open up another location. It just might be a win.
That's right. I think sometimes if they get a bad reputation in one,
that could be too.
Then they open up in another one and they're a different name. Or even if they have a decent reputation, they still have that other. They're conquering the market.
Yeah.
What does Coca-Cola do? What does Apple do? It's very rare that you don't see somebody with an iPhone because they dominate.
Yep.
And pretty much that's what a lion does. They dominate the jungle or the safari.
Yes, everybody runs. And we talk about, I'll go back to Ray Lewis here real quick. He's like, hey, why is a lion the king of the jungle, right? An elephant's the biggest animal. A cheetah's the fastest. And it's just how they how their confidence. I think it's a confidence thing. I think it's a fear of not worrying about failing. You know, I think that if you can overcome fear and doubt, that, you know, I think that's an opportunity for that lion to come out in everybody.
That's deep, brother.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think so. I mean, I think so, and I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest challenge that entrepreneurs have. You know, they've had forever that I can imagine in my lifetime is like, you know, we several episodes ago we were talking to the Alpha Coin guys, and we were like, hey, what about that shoulda, coulda, woulda? I feel like entrepreneurs run into that quicksand of shoulda, coulda, woulda when you just go for it, you know, and if you fail, hey, learn from it, you know, and get back after it and go after that prey again.
I mean, I've signed literally three leases sight unseen.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm like, Jeremy, is that a good place? You like it? I do my demographic analysis. I evaluate the area, and then I'm like, let's move forward.
Let's move forward.
Obviously, I do some analysis, but I don't literally need to see the location. Meanwhile, it's in a retail mall or retail strip. It's in a good demographic, and there's high income or median income above $75,000.
I think that gets missed sometimes too. Is I think that sometimes entrepreneurs rely on, especially startup entrepreneurs, rely too much on outside influence. You know, do the due diligence yourself. You know, a broker is going to tell you everything and anything you want to hear because they want you to sign on the dotted line, right?
Exactly.
So you got to step in there and do that yourself and confirm that the information they're giving you is accurate.
That's right.
Because you get yourself into a terrible deal.
Terrible
deal. And I think that, you know, my opinion on that is don't rush into your first office. Don't rush into your first location. Try to figure out, you know, make sure that it's the right thing for you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I remember my first location. I literally had between acquisition and de novo, and I evaluated the pros and cons, and I took the risk of getting into an acquisition that was struggling, but it was pretty much a de novo, but at the end of the day, the location was prime. I mean, I literally had only 2 competitors in that island.
And that's important.
But then I thought, do I go into this island where people are going to be worried to cross the bridge?
Yeah.
And I don't have that much of a population. I think back then there was only like 8,000 people in the whole island that I was in.
Didn't you tell me, like, when you bought that office, was it doing a month or a day? What was it doing, like $300 a day or something?
It was doing like 30,000 a month.
30,000 a month.
30,000 a month. 30 to 35,000 a month.
And now, annually, what is that office doing right now annually?
It's on pace to do 5 million.
I mean, come on, that's lying.
That's major.
That's king of the beeping jungle right there.
But you know, we've developed hubs to help us
Yeah.
support this infrastructure and this team, right?
For sure.
I can't do it alone.
No, and the lion can't do it alone.
But
Everybody has their role.
as
Right?
a lion, when your other cubs or your team loses focus, you got to reassure them that everything is.
You got to bite them on the ass, right?
You got to reassure them that everything's going to be okay, and you just got to continue going.
Yeah.
And you got to focus on the attack. You know, there's going to be good months, bad months, good days, bad days. But at the end of the day, did you achieve your goal for the year?
Yep. That's the most important thing. Again, that was the first thing that almost came out of this whole conversation was start with goals, right? And then we're going to finish this conversation with, hey, start with goals. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to say your daily goals.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost set goals hourly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Well, you know what? In our realm, we kind of do
You
set
work
goals.
on a calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, your day is pre-planned from 8 in the morning to 5, sometimes 6 in the morning to 5, and everything's scheduled. So you're very regimented from the moment you wake up. It's kind of like military.
And we're a patient-focused organization, but we also want our doctors to produce, right? We want them to, and we break that down on an hourly basis. So technically, you do plan on an hourly basis.
We do. We almost broke it down to like per minute.
That's crazy.
Not only what you produce, but the expenditures.
Yeah, I mean it's important. All of it's important. But again, the most important thing, guys, is go for it. You know, be that lion. Don't be afraid. You're gonna fail. You know, all that stuff that everybody's talking about and all that stuff that everybody's always been talking about, there's a reason why we talk about it. Because it's true.
That's right.
You know, Amazon, and Apple and
How many
Microsoft.
times did they get shot down before
Exactly.
they got where they needed to get?
Exactly. A lion never gives up. Because guess what? If a lion gives up, a lion dies.
That's right. Well, thank you so much today, Jeremy, for being a part of the show. And
Thank you.
you can follow me on Dr. Alex A. Plains in Instagram, podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Thank you.